Good morning everybody. I'll check in a little bit later because you can hardly see me. Our target was to leave at 6 o'clock and Christine and I have been on trail a while, and we used to get up at 5 o'clock and we'd be ready to go at 6. Well, we got up at 5 o'clock and we're pretty much ready to go at 5:30. So I guess we are getting the fish in, packing our bags and having our brekkie and going to the loo and stuff. But anyway, we wandered off about 5:45 because otherwise we're just going to get into the forest before daylight. But we want to maximise our time today, both a bit anxious about the longwoods. As I said, when I was on 90 Mile Beach, it was one section that I wasn't really looking forward to, but it's going to be really good to walk out to Colic Bay tomorrow, probably midday-ish. So let's get going. We'll show you what it's like as we hit the trail. I can't believe we're still on a all-terrain vehicle road. If you look at the maps, it suggests we'd already be in the bush by now, but yeah, there's a lot of road section at the start of this, so don't be afraid if you're coming behind me. Starting in the dark with your headlamps on, it's really easy to find your way along the road. We left at 5:45 and we probably could have left even earlier if we wanted to. So, looks like a bit of a turning bay for people maybe who want to come up here in a all-terrain vehicle or a four-wheel drive and do the longwoods. The track might continue a bit further, but I don't think so. I think we're about to hit the hard bush now, so I'll just work out what the kilometre mark is, because the maps certainly don't show the road going this far, and it just helps with planning. When the days are getting shorter, you're getting into March, yeah, you want to try and time it so you're entering this bush just when there's enough daylight to maximise your time to get through to Martin's Hut, knowing you've got a tricky day. If anything goes wrong, you've got maximum amount of time to deal with it that way. So yeah, definitely heading into the forest now. We've done a fair bit of the climb as well. I think Bald Hill is the name of the first hill we're going to, and that might be where we get our first look at Bluff. But here we go, we can start to see a bit of a muddy track in here. So here you go, on to this year's trail, just after kilometre mark 2924 is where the road runs out. If you're coming behind me, you need to do a bit of planning. What's the time, Christine, you know?
We've been walking for an hour 50.
Yeah, so we've been walking an hour 50. So if you're in your 20s, you'll probably do this in an hour and a half or so. So you can sort of time that to get to this point in the trail where you've got daylight, and then you're going to go into the bush. All right, let's see what it's like. I know this first section up the Bald Hill's a little bit muddy. Then we drop down to a quarry, and then the second section is where the real business starts. So there's been the odd muddy pocket, but actually quite a nice beech forest up here. Well, what a treat to get one more section of beech forest, even if it's only short. As you know, if you've been watching all my videos, I just love the beech forest of the South Island, and I was really expecting doom, gloom and slushy mud from the very beginning, but this is a real treat. A little bit of moss in that hanging off the trees here, so a little bit goblin forest like, but still nothing compared to the Te Araroa ranges. They definitely take the cake when it comes to goblin forest, that's for sure. Here's our first real bit of mud. And heading up there, there's the orange marker. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Might not be to some viewers, but to me, seeing these masts and seeing them on so many videos of YouTubers before me, our trail actually does head over here, but we must then swing around and walk up that ridge to the top there. And after we get up there, what do you say, Camp Mother? We've got one more climb on the TA after this one.
Yeah.
To undergo. So there we are, How long, Camp Mother, to here?
An hour 25.
Hour 25.
Oh, sorry, 2 hour 25.
Oh, that's from our actual hut though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a sign there that said 2 hours up to here for 4 kilometres. I know we've gone a lot quicker than that. So,
Yeah.
no, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a shame we can't get the view, but we're not moaning. There's not that much wind. There's no rain. We're just up in the clouds. So, pretty pleasant really. And now we head on. I think we might actually be 4-wheel drive track from here to the quarry now. And that's our last point of water. And I'll do a profile. We've got one more climb, although you see that's insignificant really. You see we're around 1,000 metres now.
Yes, this is the last big climb.
Last big climb done on the
We've got another
TA.
one to Trig Point.
Yeah,
On the other side.
yeah, Trig Point in the
might
Longwoods.
be very muddy, so that's the challenge.
That'll be the challenge, yeah. And then there's one that at the very end at Bluff there, but you don't count that.
Yeah,
Christine
that's a
scoffed at it. She said that's a blip, that don't count, Ray. So yeah, after what we've done, she's spot on, I reckon. So no, we'll get down this next one. We'll get to this quarry, get some water, and then I think the real challenge will start from past the quarry over to Martin's Hut. That's just something, when you hit the southern parts of the South Island of New Zealand, there's that ocean, and the next thing down there's the South Pole. So any southerly wind in this part of the country, even in the middle of summer, can be blimmin' cold. And you know, it might be quite pleasant. We're meant to have 2 fine days. Obviously we're trying to get to Martin's Hut today, and then get out of Martin's Hut. We might get all the way to Riverton tomorrow. But for those beach walks and getting through to Invercargill, we've actually got some quite nice weather forecast, which will be good. Hopefully the wind's not too windy on those 2 days. Possibly the weather forecast not the flashiest when we walk into Bluff on the Tuesday. But we possibly could have pushed on. We're actually going to have a rest day in Riverton. We could have pushed on and finished the day early. But just with the situation in Australia, and both Christine's husband and my wife and kids, both our houses are right in the eye of that cyclone. I'm sure they're going to be fine. We're not worried. It's only a category 2, but the thing is they've shut all the bridges. Qantas, the main airline in Australia, suspended all flights. So yeah, both of our families are pretty much stuck at the moment. We don't know when they're going to get here and if they're going to be able to come over and see us finish. But look, it is disappointing, of course, after what we've done, and our families would have loved to have been here too. They may still make it. We're just going to have to see how we go the next few days. If not, I don't know, I'll probably have to find my own flight back. Maybe I can get home a bit sooner, but my parents are down here. My father-in-law's coming down here. So I might spend a few days with them and still fly home on my intended date, 16th of March. Anyway, I'll keep filming. You'll see what happens over the next few days, and we'll see how we go. But man, my fingers were getting numb, and that wasn't a heavy or a high wind speed at the top there. I'm down amongst the trees a little bit now, so it's just made it a bit more pleasant. And I don't know how far we are from the quarry, but boy, the fun's going to start after the quarry. Anyway, let's go. Well, I recognise this steel fence from all the other YouTubers I've watched over the years. Next stop, the quarry. So check it out, people. Christine's trying to be clean when she gets to the hut today. So she's got her rain pants tucked into her socks. She's hiking MC Hammer style. You gonna do the MC Hammer dance for us, Christine? So we're not far from the quarry now, and it's going to seem strange if I see that old bomb of a car that's just that wreck. I've just seen that in so many videos that I've watched over the years, so it'll kind of be weird standing there looking at it myself now. Now here we are at the old quarry, and there's that not burnt out car, but that wrecked car that I talked about. People used to get their photo in this as if they're driving it, but the whole roof and everything's collapsed on it now. And we continue. There's a big marker up here. There's a TA marker up there as well, and up in the tree up there there's a big orange marker right in the middle of my screen, and it's just decided to start raining on us now. just popped above the tree line now, and that was fine. That was a beautiful walk, but just getting a bit of tussocky stuff now, and we can start to see a lot more mud here. That first section, that was very easy work. What do you mean? Alright, that cheering was Christine. I have to zoom in. Ooh, that cloud might have gone. Covered it now. But we actually got a slight glimpse of the sea. That's why Christine was getting excited. Okay, so I think we aim for the triangle in the middle of my screen. Whoop. Here's our first decent look at the coastline. That's actually looking out toward the west, but still, it's a good feeling. And if I zoom in up here, you might see a little white speck, but that's a trig. That's our high point. Just in the middle of my screen now, that's where we're getting to. And then drop down to the hut after that. But here I am at the trig. I don't know if you can hear me in the wind. And if I zoom in over here, I don't know how clear it'll be on the camera. But that little change of level over there, that's the hill. That's Bluff. That's my destination. That's the first time I've seen it with my own eyes since I started this journey. And I'm a bit ahead of Christine. I was just thinking back as I walked up here. My very first day on trail, I stopped for lunch and I did a shot at Cape Reinga Lighthouse. I said, it'll probably be the last time I see that lighthouse. It actually wasn't. I saw it a few times after, but I remember sitting there lunch on my first day thinking, I wonder how far I'll get. I wonder if I'll make it all the way. Just the unknown and such a big adventure. But I was also thinking, I wonder what it'll feel like the first time I see Bluff. And it feels good. I can tell you that. So cool to see the ocean. And that's our beach we're going to walk down there. So tomorrow we get to Riverton, which is this little town just down in here. We're going to have a rest there and hold up, try and wait for the family for a day. I just heard from my wife, it doesn't sound like they're going to be able to fly on Sunday as planned. So we just have to wait and cross our fingers she can get a flight out on Monday and still come watch us finish with my boys. But we'll just have to watch. That cyclone's not playing games, it's playing games. It's playing games with us. It's just sitting out there on the east coast of Australia, not hitting land. So unfortunately, I think I mentioned all the bridges are shut, the airports are shut. There's nothing we can do about it. We just got to wait and see. Christine's husband, he's got the same problem. Well, I've heard about this bit of trail magic. Somebody comes up here constantly restocking this one. There's actually not much in there. There's one can of Sprite and a bottle of water there. I'll let Christine have the Sprite if she wants it. I'm feeling okay, so I'll leave it for the next person. But whoever does this, thank you so much. On a hot day, or a really horrible day, wet and muddy, to come through find this. Yeah, just unbelievable. Thank you so much. And I think there might even be a number on the side of it. Here we go. So our destination tonight, Martin's Hut, it's only 1.4 kilometres away, but I suspect this is going to take us a long time, because I've watched all the videos of other people doing this section of the track that we're on now, and I haven't seen the mud that's been on those other people's sort of videos and stuff. So I've been waiting for it all day. It must be on this last little downhill push where we just get to unavoidable mud across the full width of the track with no side tracks around it. But we'll keep going and I'll show you as I go. Well, we made it into Martin's Hut, made pretty good time actually. It's about 9 hours, 20 minutes to get here. The water in the water tank didn't smell very good. The tap wasn't running, it was quite low. I found a tiny little spring coming out of the hill behind me here. So I'm just trying to capture some water there. It's pretty bad actually. I mean, you're going to have a hut, you should have it near a water source. You've got to get water there, and have such a piddly little water tank when they've just done the hut up. It's just, I don't know. And apparently it's got a leak in it already. You have a whole heap of people rocking up to a hut with 4 beds in it. Sometimes there'd be 12 people rocking up, and then there's no reliable water source for people. A little bit surprised actually. I thought that'd be a bit more organised. But either way, I'm here trying to capture this water as best I can. So I'll do a filter and treat it with a tablet as well, and probably use that as my boil water tonight to make my evening meal. I have got about 750 ml in one bottle from the town water supply at the last hut, and a 650 ml bottle that's full of water as well. So that should be plenty to get me out of here tomorrow. I just really need something to cook with tonight. But the hut, yeah, look, I'm probably going to get a good little sleep in this little hut. I don't know how many more people are coming. One guy came behind us. He's having something to eat, but he's going to push on to the bivvy following this. So I do know there's another Aussie couple coming from Adelaide behind Christine and I don't know of anybody else, but we'll work it out tonight anyway. Make sure that everybody's, not pitching their tent. There's not many places to pitch your tent outside this hut either. So 4 beds. If people rock up and think, oh, no bed, put my tent up, they walk outside and not many places to even put a tent up. So we'll just have to top and tail, put people on the floor. We're just going to have to try and work it out. Anyway, I'll show you the hut when I get back to it. And I'll continue here. It's going to take me a while to get this water filtered because I can only capture a little bit at a time. Okay, so there's a quick view of little old Martin's Hut here. Very well aerated, and there's Camp Mother getting ready to do the end of the day summary. All right, end of the day summary today is by special guest, Camp Mother, who's going to be interviewed tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long day. Hard day. We had a total elevation gain of 1,300 metres, which I didn't realise. Got some views today, which were really good. We saw Bluff for the first time, yes. And obviously the Southern Ocean. Was a long day, was a 9.5 hour walk.
Yeah.
30 kilometres. And lastly, lots and lots of mud, particularly in the second part, like after Bald Hill.
Yeah. And what do you think of the hut and the water supply?
Yeah, that is appalling. Absolutely appalling. We arrived here with barely any water. There's no water, there's no creek. Ray had to go at least a kilometre down the trail to find
found a spring.
a spring.
Yeah.
That is appalling. They have to fix the water tank is not working. The tap is not working. They really have to fix that because there's so many hikers coming through and exhausted after a long day.
Yep, and a muddy day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And weather for tomorrow.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to rain a bit. Anyway, it's going to be what it's going to be. We're getting out of here. Yes.
we've got caravan. That's all we could get.
We're getting out of here.
But we're getting
and
out of
we're
here.
going to have a nice lunch with chips.
Yeah, in Colac Bay we're going for lunch, but we're not going to have a beer because otherwise we'll never make it to Riverton.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But it's going to rain. I don't know, about 10 mil, I think. So
yeah.
see what happens.
But overall today, I don't know. It was my last anxious section. Like I had my anxieties on Richmond's and on Goat Pass and that, and I did those two, and that was all right. And even today, that mud, I know it was nowhere near as bad as I was really expecting. Nothing like Ratia. Ratia, I felt unsafe. Never felt unsafe once today.
Yeah, it's just long.
Just long parts of today I actually really enjoyed. Actually, some beautiful beach forest though.
Yes,
today, so,
gorgeous.
Yeah, you know. Well, we'll
Anyway.
see everybody tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.